Hey everybody, this is the call of the gathering of tribes together with the thriving nomads. My name is Joran. Thank you for joining or for watching it afterwards in case you weren't able to attend it live. I'm here with Victor, who is the organizer of the gathering of tribes. And yeah, first of all, thank you. Welcome. I am the co-founder of, or one of the co-founder of Thriving Nomads. I'm Joran, and I'm currently based in Bulgaria. As you can see, the forest behind me, but that's only a paper wallpaper. And this call, it's going to be, I don't know, about 30 to 45 minutes, depends a little bit. And we're going basically to talk about thriving nomads being represented at the gathering of tribes. And we want you to understand what it means for you if, in case you consider joining, and also why the thriving nomads is at this event. I was wondering, so this is Victor here. We know each other since a couple of years, and I know that Victor is sometimes a bit of a crazy person in a positive sense. And so in this session, we're going to learn from Victor personally about the gathering of tribes. I'm happy that he's here and can take time for the session. And so you're going to give us a quick overview. And also, I think what's very important is the why. Why are you doing this, Victor? What's the reason behind it? What's your motivation, right? So yeah, what do you think, Victor? Do you want to give us a little bit of an overview and of a feeling for the gathering of tribes that's going to happen for the first time in Portugal, 14th to 18th of September, right?
Sure. So, I mean, maybe to begin with, I don't see myself as an organizer because the idea is that we all organize it together. It's not a top-down organized kind of event. So I may be more of an instigator or a provocator or a inviter. Uh, why? It's because I think the time is right. You know, it's the regenerative gathering of tribes, the regenerative movement of which there are so many strands. It's starting to appear and show its kind of shape and all of the different ideas that are part of it, right? The reason that we originally connected, you and me, Oren, is that you were looking at the intersection of digital nomads and eco villages or the rural spaces, right? Because you recognized that that was one of the things that was important for creating this better future we know is possible. I have been exploring the village building space, but also building new kinds of organizations, building new learning systems. So there's all of these different strands, all of these different groups working on creating a new reality, creating a new world, creating new ways for us to live in a thriving way. I love the name thriving. It's one of my favorite words. And I
Thank
think
you.
this future that we dream of, nobody has all of the answers. However, I think all of the answers are out there. So we need these different organizations to cross-pollinate, to work together, to support each other, to inspire each other. And your audience is digital nomads who spend a lot of time online. And I think the more time you spend online, the more you start appreciating the value and importance of physical meetings,
Oh yeah,
right? I've been
absolutely. Yeah.
working online 15 years or more. And I really appreciate, the team that I work with, we meet for 1 week a year, and that week is very important. So, and there's many groups, many online communities who talk about getting together, and but the time never comes. It's never the right time. So I wanted to create the excuse for people to get together, but also really create a place where different interests and different ideas cross-pollinate. So the 5 years that I've been in Portugal, we've met lots of really amazing people working generation as well throughout Europe. So yeah, it's I really think it's the time, and the format of a festival, so getting together in nature, is, I've been going for 30 years to music festivals, to raves, to all kinds of festivals. And I really appreciate how wonderful that format is of spending a few days in a tent surrounded by interesting people. And even if there is some degree of, like you're sleeping on a bed that's not as comfortable as usual, that creates part of the experience because you're in nature, you're seeing the stars together, you're seeing amazing people. So yeah, also for me, one big inspiration for me is Burning Man.
I
I
was
went
just
there.
want to mention that Burning Man is probably one of the foundation that you kind of look at, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my inspirations. I was lucky enough to go in 99, 2000, 2004. Now I understand it's much bigger. And of course, with growth, you have to be much more organized and more formal. In 99, it still felt kind of somewhat anarchistic. I wrote a really nice, I did an interview with a friend of mine who was there the very first few ones. And it was just pure pandemonium, but it was pandemonium around a certain kind of spirit and idea, and people were dancing around it. The Burning Man didn't come born with 10 principles out of the box from year zero. It evolved towards that over 15 or more years. So we are in the early stages with this festival. I'm holding it very lightly, and it's very much an open invitation to co-create. Definitely what we take from Burning Man is this ethos of no spectators. So, don't come to be entertained, come to participate, come to have great conversations, come bring your questions. I have found I've been to many festivals and conferences, and with all due respect, I find it talks boring, especially in the age of YouTube. I can hear whoever of the world's greatest thinkers on YouTube, anything from a 2-minute short snippet to a 3-hour in-depth conversation, whichever I like. Why would I travel halfway across the world to listen to people? But the conversations that you have, right? So maybe I'll end my little speech on, for me, the regeneration movement. It's not like a set of fixed ideas or a search for some kind of a framework. It's this idea of engaging with some questions together. Questions: how can we create a better relationship to nature? How can we create better human organizations? How can we create a better world together? And the way that I believe that will come about is by us having those conversations, with everybody engaging in their lives in small or big ways with those questions.
Right. Thank you so much for this kind of overview. And yeah, I think I want to take a little bit the word on why Now Thriving Nomads is considering or is joining this event or is having a camp in this event, so to speak, right? So because there are going to be different organizations, and each of them, they have a sort of camp. Do I see this right?
Yes. So a lot of organizations are coming together, multiple tribes making one camp together. I think, like, you're nomads, should be easy for you to come places. And two, you're interested about thriving. And this festival is all about finding ways that we can thrive, finding the ways that we can thrive as individuals, finding ways as we can find to thrive as humanity on this earth, finding ways how to create thriving organizations.
Right.
So I imagine that most, if not probably all of your members are engaged or are thinking with some of those questions in their life, right? I mean, in a way, I would say thriving nomads is a provocation, right? What the hell does it mean to be a thriving nomad?
I'm hoping so. Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping that our audience is mostly, and I want to believe so, people who would like to achieve and serve for more than your own Instagram I'm in Bali thing, right? So so that said, yeah, and that probably also resonates pretty much with what you're going to have in the gathering of tribes.
Another thought that came to me to summarize it in a nutshell: come to be inspired by really amazing conversations with really cool people doing amazing stuff.
Yeah, thank you for this. Is there any question that you guys have at this point, Christina or Kate or anyone else? Anyone else? If you want to ask a question, then just unmute yourself and then simply ask us, because it's one thing when we talk, but maybe there might be some basic questions. We'll be like, oh yeah, we didn't even think about it because it's already so in our minds, Hey, Christina, you have to unmute yourself. Okay, Kate first.
Okay, yes, I'd like to ask a question actually.
Yeah,
sorry if I don't have my video on.
No worries.
Yeah, sorry if I don't have my video on. So if someone wants to come on their own, for example, like me, and they are not, let's say, affiliated or associated with anyone else, what would be the best way to do it? I've never been to Burning Man either, so I don't know.
So the key consideration is, are you willing, if you want to come by yourself, of course, you can just buy a ticket and come with a tent or a camper van, or are you hoping for glamping, meaning a tent and a bed or a bed? If you want glamping, then you need to book a ticket through one of the camps. Maybe Thriving Nomads will organize its own glamping as well. But if you're happy to just come with a tent and your own sleeping stuff, then just buy a general ticket. Does that answer your question?
Yes. And what is the best way to find, for example, how do you find, the camps? Where do you see them on the website?
They're on the website, and
okay.
the camps that are selling glamping, I will highlight today.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Let me just put the link in.
Actually, sorry, another question actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have? I don't know how the festival is organized. Well, the gathering is organized, but do you have any voluntary spots for people to apply? To be like a volunteer, a helper, or something?
To be honest, this is the first time we're doing it, and we really made the tickets as cheap as we possibly could to make it accessible. Everybody contributes, right? All of the camps are doing things, so everybody's contributing. I don't know if we'll have specific volunteer tickets with some further discount. Actually, we're trying to figure this out, but it's very bare bones, come play. So
I mean, when talking about this, I mean, obviously pricing matters also. The price of a regular ticket, I don't have it in mind 100%. Is it, Victor, help me?
So I think there is still a few early birds left at 75, then it goes to 95, and then 125.
Okay.
And that's without accommodation or food. So there will be food for sale. There's some people also selling food tickets to just get your food for the whole festival. And with accommodation, it will be different.
Right. Thank you for that. Well, I think that 75 to start with, and I think I saw them, they're still available. Maybe later when you watch the video and you go to the link of the Gathering of Tribes, maybe they will not be available anymore. But I think it's a fairly reasonable amount of contribution. Christina, did you have any question? Because I saw you talking about you were muted. And you're still muted. We don't hear you. Wait a second.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, I muted you again. Sorry. I did a mistake here. Sorry. So
can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Sorry, that was my mistake. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, we were given the link by someone who we were working with at the time, and I just sort of followed it because somebody told me to follow it up. And I'm just thinking, could we possibly have a conversation, maybe sort of taking it further, because what you've got going on with the festival, what you've got going on with Digital Nomads fits quite well with what we're doing. We've got going as a hotel. What we've done is we've got
sorry Christina, could you say who we is? Could you
Yeah,
identify?
it's called Leisure Management Plus, and we've got a hotel on the Essex coast in the UK. Very, very sunny place with sort of lots to do, lots of sports, lots of sort of nature, sandy beaches, that kind of thing. And we've got what was a cheap B&B, which we're trying to make into sort of a better hotel by and by. But I was just thinking how this could tie in with things like, maybe promoting your festival, sort of around the world or in this area, or, tying in with the digital nomads in some way, so you could all have a conversation about it. Because I'm just, there's just a few ideas I've been having, thinking about, what you've been talking about for the last few minutes or so.
I think I would love to have. Yes, you're becoming the sunny country in Europe now.
Definitely, we've had so much sun. It's just,
Oh my
I've
God.
not been out because I'm
Whoever
fed
invested
in.
in beachside real estate 20 years ago in the UK is now going to be very,
It's
very
like
well off.
40 degrees.
But
It's the bottom of the Sahara, yeah.
I think that's a separate conversation. I'd love to have it with you.
Yes,
I'll send
it
you my
is.
LinkedIn,
It
my
is.
Calendly. With
Yeah.
Rebuild, we also have. So
Okay.
definitely, please do promote this first event. We need your help, and we
course,
also
yeah.
have another format with Rebuild, because Gathering of the Tribes is coming out of the Rebuild ecosystem. We're doing more programmed local events around regeneration. And if you'd be interested in doing that kind of an event, we can definitely support you in that and connect you with lots of interesting people around the UK ecosystem and help promote that through our network. Because I do believe that this whole idea of regeneration is really coming. It's a really new, strong wave for many reasons. I mean, first of all, the time is right and it's about time. Secondly, it just kind of feels good. I mean, I will speak for myself, but sustainability just kind of sounded like boring. And my reaction to it was like, I don't want to sustain this world. It sucks, right? I want to do better. And regeneration being open-ended and forward-looking feels like a kind of more interesting idea. Also, by connecting with much more than just the relationship to nature and to the physical things, but also how we relate to each other, the organizations that we create. It's much more holistic, right? It's really thinking about the bigger systems and recognizing that if we don't improve the human systems, there's no way we can improve our economic systems or how we relate to the earth.
Because this is the thing, you see, because where we are is perhaps one of the most underfunded, poorest places in the country. It's sort of notorious for it. So it would be a good thing to sort of get conversations going around that.
So,
where are you based?
Yeah. Where are we based? We're based on the Essex coastline. So it's sort of northeast Essex, I guess, and it's a very nice place, in terms of sort of landscape. Got lots of golden sandy beaches, lots of sports going on. There is potential for doing more. There is a certain kind of culture there. Lots of Essex tans, lots of sort of tattoos.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're recording this, and I really want to have this conversation with you. But let's schedule a time for that. Super happy to have it.
Well, let's say that this is a perfect example. Now we're just like in this little chat box here. Imagine you have 120 people on an event and have these cool conversations, right? That's what we're here for.
So this is exactly already, the Gathering of the Tribes hasn't started yet. But already we've made connections and we've made some inspirations, and we're looking forward to doing something together.
Yeah,
which
actually at 0.5% here.
Connects me to one other idea. Is my hope is that everybody comes out of the festival with some new connection, that they've joined some project, that different organizations agree to do something together, that everybody comes out with some kind of a follow-up action. I know I've been to many festivals in my life, and there is definitely even if it's just a music festival, it is this transformative experience. You get really energized. You get excited about a different way of living. You're surrounded by these great people for a weekend or for a week. And then on Monday, you're back at the office, sitting at the desk or at your computer in your bedroom, and you're like, it's like hitting a wall. Even Burning Man recognize this is even, and they traditionally have decompression parties in the community to help people deal with this shock. And my hope is that rather than coming back shocked from the gathering, you come back energized, and you have this thread or multiple threads of like, I know what I'm going to do. I have some way to turn my excitement and my energy into follow-on action.
Let me get a quick word on now. What's the role of thriving nomads in conjunction with gathering of tribes? I mean, thriving nomads is basically the idea of putting together location independence, very important, something we have now after the pandemic much more than before, and positive impact. And I mean, needless to say that the idea of regeneration is a positive impact, right? We're going to be the experts of location independence, and probably a bunch of people, as I already realized when I was talking to Sonia, who's working together with you, Victor, was already asking a bunch of questions. I was like, oh my God, this is so self-explanatory to me, but not to other people. And how do we combine the idea of regeneration and location independence? And I guess that we're going to meet a lot of interesting people also from other areas in that event, right? So we're going to be the one that are going to be the experts of like, how do you start a remote job? How do you move around? How do you meet other nomads? What things do you have to consider? Basic stuff for us, mind-blowing stuff for other people, apparently, as I've realized, And we, on the other hand, have the great chance to, find and connect with those people that are maybe more hands-on, maybe from a, I don't know what, regenerative organization that does more local things and so on, and to find out about it, So just to get a little bit the overarching thing here, that's what I would want to mention for our Thriving Nomads audience here. Right. So let's say it again. So we have the event from 14th to 18th of September in Alentejo. Alentejo is a region in Lisbon, which is
it's southern Portugal.
Southern Portugal.
So if you're flying, the airport in Faro is closer.
Oh, really?
But
Okay.
for renting car and things like this, Lisbon is more convenient. And it's not such a big difference practically, it's not such a big difference in distance. So unless you have a really good connection and you know your way around through Faro, then Lisbon is more convenient.
Is there a way to get there by train?
Sorry?
Is there a way to get there by train?
You can get close nearby by train. We'll set up some kind of carpooling, car sharing, and other things.
Right, I understand. Great. And is there any special feature during this time when we have this event?
Any special?
Well, you're going to celebrate your birthday as well, right?
Yes. Well, the September 14th, we're doing a Virgo birthday party. So doing a birthday party celebrating all Virgos. I'm a Virgo. So September 14th is also my 50th birthday, if that's what you're driving at. But yeah, we'll do a Virgo birthday party because there's actually quite a few people. There's one more person who's helping organize, whose birthday is also on the 14th, and a bunch of people around. So Virgo birthday party. And
most important for those digital nomads, yes, we do have internet connection there, which is kind of easy.
Yes, the internet, it's 4G, as in many places in Portugal. It's very fast.
Yeah, well, I also will have to work a little bit on the site, so that's very good to know and to understand. Great. Are there any questions at all at this point? Yeah. If so, then just unmute yourself and then let us know. Otherwise, I think it was a good, overview of the gathering of tribes. And if there is, if you still want to get a ticket for the early bird prize, then there's your chance right now to do that. Great.
Cool.
So
Yeah, look forward to seeing you. And yeah, I mean, it's an occasion to get together with other thriving nomads in the camp and spend some time together and build connections.
CJ, as we see you in Portugal, I'm going to stop the recording here at this point.